Hi guys, I decided that I will make a small tutorial of the simple approach to the art. I had the pleasure of conducting classes in my local library, so I decided that I can share this knowledge with all of you also through this video. First of all, I wanted to show you my realistic paintings as an introduction to what I can. And this is some ink drawing, a realistic one. I hope that everybody see this correctly. Some aquarelle and ink drawings, which are quite realistic. But at this class, I want to share the knowledge and joy of creating simple art. Simple art like this. It's quite decorative, it's simple, and I'll try to teach you in a very simple way, as simple as possible, to have a joy of creation of drawings in the simple, minimalistic way. That's the aquarelle drawings, but I will focus on this first class in this sort of line art, where I will try to teach you composition and control over lines. All right, so this is my introduction. To be honest, right now, just for my pleasure and also to share with my friends, I'm focusing on simple art. It's giving me such a freedom of creating in abstract way everything I want. It's like a language in which I have to know the basic phrases, and I will show you how, because I can show the wind. I can show the wind in a very simple way. It's a dashed line. I can show some harmonious lines which are giving the feeling of peace, of calm, but I also can show more dramatic lines, sharp lines that I'm using for creating in an abstract way mountains, rocks, but also I can show like a fluent lines that are more expressive, which are here, and I can show in this way waves or clouds or wind, and also like if I mention clouds, I can show in very simple way clouds. So I just wanted to show in these examples how easily you can create a feeling in the shapes, and I want you to try at your home also to exercise these simple shapes and see what the feelings you have creating each of these types of lines. So right now I want to talk a bit about composition in an example of a drawing. So first of all, I'm creating the center of the page. With orange, I will show the sketch that I'm doing always, just to have the proportions of the page. That will be very handy for planning the drawing. So I'm trying to determine the center of the page by this way. Then I'm trying to mark always in my sketches, simplistic sketches or also the realistic ones, the area of focus. That's the area where I want to put my objects that I will be drawing. So they cannot be too close to the edges. There has to be some margin by each edge. So that's this area. Then in the example of drawing a bird, I will show you starting with the most simple art, the area where I put my object, which will be my bird. So that will be the area where I will determine where I will put my object. And in the Sketchway, I will draw now my object. So that will be my simple bird. Just a straight line, one shape, a beak and legs. And then when I have a sketch, I can draw a refined line, which will be the final edge of my object, in this case a bird. So here I have my first object. So in this simple drawing, I wanted to show you that first we have to determine the center of the drawing, the area of interest, then the area where I will put my desired object, then a sketch way of showing the bird, and then the refined line which will create my object. All right. So I will show you just a few examples of drawings, so you will learn this pattern, this system that I'm using for creating very complicated drawings. So again, I'm drawing the center of the page this way. Then the area of interest, which is this area. And then, for example, I will draw, as I live by the beach, by the sea, will draw the sea. So first I will put the line of the horizon, which is this line. Then the coastline, which is this line. Then I'll put some rocks. So I will determine the areas where I will compose my rocks. So these two shapes will be the areas where I will put my rocks. So now I have to be watchful to compose other objects in the harmonious way. So the weight won't be on one side. My purpose is to have harmonized composition. So here will be some cloud and sun. So as you can see, that will be very balanced composition. We have one object, second, that will be rocks, some cloud, and the sun. So when I have these areas where I want to put my objects, I will draw the sketch. Maybe that will be in the red color. So one rock, second rock, cloud, and the sun. My horizon and the line of the sea. All right. So in the Sketchway, I showed my first my object, which is cloud, sun, some rocks, and the area where will be my sea. So now when I have my sketch, again, just to show you the pattern, I can refine the lines, which will be again clouds, sun, sea, rocks, all right. So now I have the main objects in my drawing. As you can see, the composition is balanced. It's not, maybe it's slightly weighted in this area, so I'll try to balance this by adding the details. So when I have the main objects, now I'm going into details. So I will skip the sketching part because first I should do the sketch of these objects, but I will go straight away, just the purpose of not boring you too much, going into straight away to the refine lines. All right, so I'm adding the details. And first, my pattern is going from the general into details. So as I said, the composition was slightly this way. So I have to balance this by adding the details that will be more heavy. And I'm doing this by these details. This is some symbols showing the water and the bird. So in this example, I just wanted to show you again, first determining the proportions of the page by doing the cross, then the area of the interest, then going to the sketches of the objects that I want to compose, and then refining the lines and going into detail. All right, I will show you one more example of this pattern. Again, I'm starting with determining the center of the page and the area of interest. I'm doing this way. Then the subject will be, for example, a forest. So now I'm doing the general shapes and the areas in which I will compose my objects. So this is the background, will be the line of the trees. I will put one tree here, some bushes, and the other type of tree. And then when I determine this composition, as you can see right now, it should be quite balanced. But as I say, if it won't be balanced fully, I can, after refining the shapes, I can add some details to balance this weight. All right, so I will do my first tree, for example, a leaf tree, then some bushes in a sketch way, and some needle type of tree. And I'll refine the line of trees in the background. So here I have my sketch of some bushes, trees, and the line of trees. So now I can go into refining the lines. Again, starting with the background, which will be the line of the trees. I will refine the lines creating the shape of the trees. All right, so this is it. And now I can go into details. So I'll put some needles at the symbols of the needles at the ground. I will add some berries to the bushes. I'll go and add some needles showing the type of tree and some leaves. And at the background, I will add just the symbols that are describing that there are the trees. All right, so I added some symbols at the ground showing the needles, showing the type of leaves that are on this tree, some berries on the bushes, and the needles, and just the symbols at the background that there are the trees, not the clouds or something else. All right, guys, so I hope that in the simple way I just showed you 3 simple steps. So first, I'll just write this down. First, we are determining the center, of page. So that's the first step. Center of page. I think it's backwards. All right, never mind. Just the first step, it will be the center of the page and area of interest. of interest. Yeah, so center of the page, yeah, as you remember, the cross and the area of interest. Then the second step is determining the position of the objects. So the position of objects, you remember this area that I'm putting to make the composition of the drawing. Then the third step will be the sketch. So that will determine the line sketch, that will determine the line of the objects. And the final, not final, because now they will be refining the lines. Refining lines, yeah. So I'm refining the shapes, for example, of the tree or the cloud. And the final step, fifth step, it's details. Yeah, so final step will be details. So as I showed you, it can be sand, some rocks to balance the composition, the leaves that will be also composed, that it won't be too many of the leaves, but just enough. But you will learn this yourself. It will be some needles or there will be wind. All right, so today in this class I showed you the type of lines at the beginning, then the composition, that it should be balanced if this is your goal, to be balanced, because later on you can do a tension, for example, that this kind of composition, which is obviously imbalance, you can gain the feeling of imbalance, of some tension of the rocks, of or for example a person that will be standing here, that is in the feeling of tension. So you can play with this, knowing the rules of composition. Then I just showed you how I'm planning going from the general into details, composing everything. So thank you for this class. Thank you for being focused on this subject, and I'm sure that you can start creating really nice, simplistic art by doing this, having this knowledge. This is other example of a drawing that I like to do. It's very simple, minimalistic, but giving me freedom of showing, for example, the snails. The snails in the realistic drawing would be too small, but here in the symbols I could show you what I wanted to see as the symbols representing the beach and the sea. So yeah, see you later, and I hope you will have plenty of fun creating simple art. Bye.